Coming up on Mountain News this morning, officials from the Laurel County Sheriff's Office say they arrested a man they have searched months for. And we learned the funeral arrangements for 3 people killed in a Wolfe County house fire last week. Plus, Prestonsburg 911 Center just received a renovation that many say was long past due and should serve the community well for years to come.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning. The time is 5:31 on December 4th. I'm Madison Pergram, and thank you for joining us on Mountain News This Morning. Happy Wednesday. We've made it halfway through the week, and we've had some active weather here the past couple days, but today's a little calmer. Let's go to Brandon Robinson. Brandon, what do we have in store for today?
Well, today looks very much calmer and very much cooler, especially this morning. This afternoon, we should get the sun out, and we should see temperatures near 50. Let's talk about those clouds this morning. As you take a look at the last 6-hour satellite radar, not a whole lot to report, but a few clouds still left over in the Big Sandy, and you can see that because of temperatures. 34 Prestonsburg, but 23 in Jonesville this morning in Southwest Virginia, just up the road wise at 28, 29 here in Hazard, 27 Harlan, Middlesboro, and Jacksboro, 31 in London this morning. Winds coming out of the southwest, so it's going to make it feel a little bit colder. Those are going to be cranking throughout the day there. That's going to bring our warmer air in, but it's also going to bring some cooler feels-like temperatures. That's going on across the entire state and the surrounding states here. So our Appcast today, you will see again 49 for a daytime high, maybe 50 in some spots, but it could feel a little bit cooler with that breeze. We'll talk more about the extended forecast coming up here in just a little bit. Madison?
Thank you, Brandon. Well, 3 people are facing felony charges for buying and selling a child in Bowling Green. Officials at Parker Bennett Curry Elementary School told police about a woman giving a child away. Bowling Green police say Maria Domingo Perez, the mother of the child, admitted to giving the child away to Pascal Jose Manuel and Katrina Philip Jose. Detectives talked to Manuel and Felipe Jose, who say they paid $2,000 for the child. Police say the infant and Domingo Perez's other 4 children are now with social services. And officials from the Laurel County Sheriff's Office say they arrested a man they have searched months for. Walter Darling is accused of impersonating a peace officer and pulling over a woman. Officials say he held that woman at knife point and made her drive to a hayfield. Officials say he then tried to sexually assault her.
I think Laurel Countyans can feel a little bit safer right now. They're out shopping and doing fun things with their families, and I think they can feel just a little bit safer because we have this guy behind bars.
Officials say they do believe there's another person involved in the case, and they say they are expecting to make another arrest soon. And a former Estill County soccer coach will spend 2 years behind bars. Andrew Hatton pleaded guilty in August to multiple charges, including rape. Investigators say Hatton sent nude photographs to multiple female students. From his arrest citation, we learned one of those girls played soccer and that Hatton sent her these photos on Snapchat. And in Pulaski County, a man is in jail accused of sending inappropriate messages to a 16-year-old. Police say this man, John Clevenger, tried to convince the teen to meet up with him at a local motel. Officers showed up instead, and they say Clevenger called out the victim's name when they knocked on the door to his room. They arrested him on the spot, and he's charged with distributing obscene matter to a minor. And also in Pulaski County, one county official is facing an allegation of drunk driving. A state trooper noticed a white Chevy Tahoe weaving in the roadway on Kentucky 80 just after 8 Monday night. They say it was Deputy Judge Executive Danny Price behind the wheel of the vehicle. They had Price undergo several field sobriety tests, which he did not pass. He refused breathalyzer, blood, and urine tests. However, police say there were other signs of intoxication.
Coming from the vehicle, and when he asked him to get out of the vehicle, that's when he smelled alcohol coming from his person.
The Pulaski County Judge Executive said there's not much he can say. He says he is still investigating all of this himself, but he did say that Danny Price remains on the job, explaining that the county attorney told him to not do anything because he's innocent until proven guilty. And in Clay County, a man is facing a DUI charge. Deputies say they were called to a single vehicle crash on North Highway 66. When they got on the scene, they found 68-year-old Tommy Sloan in the vehicle drinking whiskey. Deputies say he was, quote, highly intoxicated, and they had to physically pack him to the patrol car. He's also charged with having an open container. And an Eastern Kentucky man died yesterday afternoon in a logging accident. Officials tell us Rick Harris and others were working on a site in Cornetsville in Perry County when a piece of equipment killed Harris. His body is being sent to Frankfort for an autopsy, and Harris was 53 years old. And yesterday we learned the funeral arrangements for 3 people killed in a Wolfe County house fire last week. These are pictures of Albert, Philip, and Sue Ann Vanderpool. Albert's visitation was last night. Philip's and Sue Ann's will be later today. Their funeral is Thursday at 1, and all services will be held at Porter and Son Funeral Home. And right now investigators are still trying to figure out what led to the explosion and fire that followed. All 3 were trapped inside. And Prestonsburg's 911 Center just received a renovation. WYMT's Buddy Forbes spoke with officials who say the upgrades were past due and should serve the community well for years to come.
First to respond.
You can't call 911 and somebody not answer. Somebody's got to be there.
But sometimes last to receive the resources needed to perform their duties.
I would think it would be more appropriate to say that we actually replaced the 911 center.
The Prestonsburg 911 Center just got a renovation to bring its building's capabilities up to date after more than 20 years.
I'm getting equipment that is not just with the time, but ahead of the time.
A $300,000 investment in community safety with 3 separate stations that allow optimal access to all emergency services.
That is what really geared this upgrade, is we needed those people to have everything they needed to do it as best as their capabilities would allow them.
But it was also an investment in the people who spend their hours working in the office.
All that technology is fantastic, but none of that means anything if you don't have professionals who sacrifice on a daily basis.
Even in the middle of a remodel.
During this remodel, 911 services never ceased in the city of Prestonsburg, and they never left that room.
Showing dedication to the job and the people. In Floyd County, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
Shirtlift says almost the entire upgrade was paid for through grant funding and money from the CMRS funds the center has maintained through the years. A small percentage came from taxpayer funds. And yesterday, students at Red River Valley Elementary in Wolfe County had a smile put on their face by Big Smiles. The mobile dental company travels across the state of Kentucky, providing dental services at no cost. Their motto is to help parents who otherwise would have to leave work, causing students to also miss school. This service in Hazel Green is more than just cleaning teeth. It's about filling the gaps of service in the area.
Wolfe County is a beautiful place and we have a lot to offer, but we do lack in some areas, and services is one of those areas.
Big Smiles provides a follow-up service, and they revisit each school after 6 months and more often if necessary. Any school can sign up for their services. And yesterday was Giving Tuesday, and the Pikeville Medical Center held a news conference to announce the relaunch of the PMC Foundation. The donation avenue allows anyone to make contributions to the nonprofit. WYMT's Marianne Fletcher was there to learn what cause officials are highlighting first.
'Tis the season for giving.
This has been a very giving community, and we want to give them a mechanism to be able to do so.
And Pikeville Medical Center relies on those donations to help support several projects.
Making an investment will allow us to walk faster, sooner, and more quick.
Tuesday, CEO Donovan Blackburn announced a relaunch of the PMC Foundation.
And then to announce our first real campaign, which will be our upcoming Children's Hospital.
Blackburn says he knows emergencies can be scary.
Too often our kids have to leave the region for pretty much everything that is of an emergent type circumstances.
Which is why this campaign helps fund treatment to some of the hospital's smallest patients.
You know, we've got about $7 million that we're getting ready to invest in the development of the area's first children's hospital.
The foundation is an avenue for anyone from local community members to corporations to give back.
You want all those specialty services that, God forbid, something happen, that the services are there to be able to address that emergent situation or circumstance.
Partnering with the community to provide for the future. In Pike County, Marianne Fletcher, WYMT Mountain News.
Officials say there will be more campaign launches in the future featuring other wings of the hospital. And coming up, Leonard Skinner is coming to Eastern Kentucky as part of their The Last of the Street Survivors farewell tour.
Here's a word we haven't heard a lot about lately, sunshine. We'll actually see some of it today and for the rest of the work week. Crazy, right? I'll tell you more in about 3 minutes.